And a jolly good morning to you from a slightly overcast but not particularly cool autumnal morning here in Riga, Latvia. Beautiful country, fantastic place, love it a lot. Today I'm going to take a little trip to a place I've not been to before called Ogre. It's about a 30-35 minute train ride from here in Riga out to Ogre on their quite swish new trains actually. Not been on these before. The last ones I went on were what you might consider somewhat ancient and Soviet and all that kind of thing. But we're off. It's 11:37 in the morning, so it's grey. It's about 13-14 Celsius. I'm going to have a look around this town, which apparently is beautiful. So off we go. And what you see over there is the new station that's being built for Rail Baltica. Now that was going to be a little expedition of mine which for one reason or another failed. I won't go into details, but I was going to go on the Rail Baltica or go by train from Tallinn through to Warsaw. Obviously not on the actual route that the Rail Baltica takes because it's a different route, but by train and a combination of other transport as well if required. But that failed. I may try and do that again in the future, but as you can see they are pressing on with the whole Rail Baltica project with their Swiss News station. I know it's been somewhat embroiled in controversy a little bit about funding and so on and so forth, but it's still being built. The station is still being built there. Ticket inspector came somewhat quicker than I was expecting them to, but I think you can just buy the ticket on the train if you haven't actually got one. But I queued up for my ticket at the ticket numerous actually, very good here at Riga. Loads and loads of ticket offices where you can buy a ticket, and it's I think €2 each way, €4 return for a 35-minute journey. I think it's zoned. Looking at the ticket, I don't quite understand it, but it looks like it says something as zone A and B, so a bit like in London I suppose, which zone you're travelling in. But 35 minutes. The trains don't exactly zoom along here in Latvia, not until Rail Baltica starts up in 6 years time maybe. So I'm hoping to come back and, as I say, do that trip from Tallinn through to Warsaw just using the train services that are in operation at the moment. Just for the record of it really, you essentially have to go from Tallinn in Estonia to the Latvian border and change trains there. It seems to appear that you have a 4 or 5 hour wait there for the Latvian train to take you to Riga, which is fine, especially for people like me that like to have a little wander about. When you get to Riga, then you have a much more recent addition to the Baltic train services, in as much as you can go from Riga to Vilnius or Kaunas in Lithuania, which is, I think it started in around about January 2024. And then from there there's a service that takes you to Warsaw and Kraków in Poland. However, you do again have to change trains on the border at a place called Moskva or something along those lines. Not 100% sure on the name of that, but it's a joint service, even though you do have to change trains. As you can see, it's not far to Ogre, but it still takes 35 minutes. But anyway, let's sit back and enjoy the little ride, and we'll see what there is in Ogre. Just to babble on a little bit longer about Rail Baltica. Part of the problem, of course, of connecting the Baltics up with the rest of Europe is that being these were former Soviet states, they come under the Russian gauge of trains, which is a lot wider than the standard British and European gauge, which Rail Baltica has been built in. 4 foot 7.5 inches, something along those lines, whatever that is in metric, I don't really know. But the Russian gauge is somewhat bigger, so the infrastructure along the line, along the legacy lines, if you like, doesn't suit going to a different gauge. It can be done, but of course that's the reason why presently you've got the train at the Lithuanian border. And I'm going to shut up now because people think I'm crazy talking into my phone. Right, so it seems that Ogre has got 3 stations. Jaunogre, which is where I am now, Ogre, and another Ogre that I cannot remember the name of off the top of my head. So I've done what any sensible wanderer would do. Get off at the first one. I'm going to make a slow stroll and at some point today get a train back from the other one, which is not that far away. It's about 3 kilometres, I think, in total. So that should be nice, and we'll see what we see along the way. It's yeah, I mean, it's not particularly cold here in Latvia today, considering it's almost the end of October, coming into November. The leaves have fallen. They do have a lovely fall here in the Baltics. You can't really see it properly from here, but the leaves go an absolutely fabulous yellow colour. And when you see the forests, of which there are loads of here, and yeah, it's a beautiful sight. So here we are. I'm just going to have to refer to Google Maps. I think I can see the train I just got off already slowing down in the distance. I think that must be Ogre itself. And yeah, this should be fun. I like it. Incidentally, I've got a few more videos in and around Riga itself, also Salkrasti, also Jurmala, and 1 or 2 other places. This is just adding to the collection, and I recently added some in Lithuania as well, including a trip to the geographical centre of Europe, which is in dispute apparently, but all the same, I went there. It's a bit of a massive fail in some respects, because there's not a lot there, and I did get back to Vilnius, but it seemed to me a little bit more effort than was really needed. But anyway, there you go. Look that one up. Sign up for the channel. Click like if you like it. Subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. And all these other silly little wanders around places will pop up on your device. Right, let's go. I'm not sure which way to go, but let's go. One route seems to take me through sort of side roads, smaller roads, and one seems to be a main road, which I think is that in that direction somewhere. But I'm going to refer to Google Maps, see where we see what we see. I like this place already. Fabulous little stations here in Latvia. Just kind of, well, they're just like a spot where you get on the train, really. They are a station, of course, but not not like a halt, really, I suppose would be the term you would use. And considering this is less than 30 minutes outside of the centre of Riga, I was walking around Riga last night. Okay, so it was what night was it? Tuesday night, and out of the tourist season, so not many people about, but popped to a place to get some food, and it was packed inside. It's funny, I tend to find this, I found the same in Vilnius. A lot of the sort of bars and cafes and restaurants, apart from the big chain ones, do tend to sort of be kind of inconspicuous in some ways. And you look from the outside and you think, oh, is it even open, let alone? And when you get inside, and maybe round the corner a little bit, they're quite often really packed out. Anyway, the first part of this walk seems to be just walking towards the centre of Ogre and next to the railway line, which of course I could have done on my ticket. As I said before, it's zoned out. This is zone B, and the other Ogre, the third one, is the end of zone B. So if I'd gone any further, the fare would have been a little bit higher, but there really are very reasonable prices here compared to the prices I'm used to in Britain, Germany and so on, which tend to be a little bit on the expensive side. A 3-day bus pass, or bus, tram and trolley bus pass for the Riga transportation, which is quite extensive and very good, costs €8. I think you can buy one for a day, which is 5, and single journeys, dependent on how you pay for them, but they're somewhere in the order of about €1.50, round about that kind of price. There is an app you can download. I did have a look at it. It looked a bit clunky, to be fair, so it's easier just to buy one ticket, isn't it, and just jump on and off buses and trams and so on to your heart's content without messing about with things like that. Here comes one of these fine new looking Latvian trains coming in the other direction. So, what a lot of people in this part of the world have are summer homes, sometimes referred to as dachas, which you really only go to during the summer months. Some of them are not even accessible during the winter months. The water and electricity and so on will be shut off. That's, it's not totally like that, but that's the sort of general principle. A lot of people will come out to places like this. Apparently this was a popular place for the inhabitants of Riga to come and get a summer home. Come out here during the summer months where the air's a bit cleaner, a bit fresher, and it's almost like going on a holiday, really. Alternatively, there's quite a few on the actual coast itself, Saukrasti being one. If you look around in Saukrasti, you see lots of what sometimes almost appear to be like shacks, really, but they're kind of summer homes. And as I say, it does get quite a bitter and cold winter here in this part of the world. You probably wouldn't want to be in them during the very cold winter months, but in summer, absolutely fabulous. Not seen any major evidence of dachas yet, although some of these houses here, they look like they're more permanent residences year round, I should say. Don't know what that is ahead. It's like a little mini power station or something, or incinerator. So the station at the end of my walk is called Pārogre or Pārogre. Not quite sure how you pronounce it. It's the confluence of two rivers. One being the Ogre, and Pārogre or Pārogre means the other side of the river, apparently, in Latvian. As I say, I've got absolutely zero knowledge of this fine language. I hear hints of sort of Polish and Russian and things like that in it, but it is very, very different in many ways, particularly when you look at the words written down on signs and things. Just beginning to enter the centre of the town, or a city in fact. It is actually designated a city, albeit quite a small one. Although I guess it's not particularly small for Latvia, which is a cute little country with a small capital and is small in itself and has lots of wonderful places to visit. So don't get me wrong when I say it's a small city. In the context of some cities, it is absolutely tiny. But anyway, there you go. Let's do my usual fuel check. I'm not quite sure which is which, but I think standard unleaded there is showing at €1.53, and DD, I'm guessing, is diesel, 1.49. So around about the €150 mark for a litre of fuel, which is on a par with the UK, slightly cheaper than Germany and quite a bit cheaper than Holland, kind of similar to Poland, I think, roughly about that sort of price. Yeah, nice park here. The Mesa Prospects. I love that as a name for a road or a street or whatever it means. It's kind of Russian really, isn't it? Prospect. You hear that a lot. So over there is Ogre's main station, if you like. I don't know what that is there, possibly a signal box that is somewhat back from the railway line. However, they could have, like in many places, shut down a lot of the railway lines and just left the main ones. And the signal box, I'm pretty sure, won't be operative these days anyway.
Turn left.
Look at the colour of the leaves, absolutely fabulous. So I'm just going to take a sort of a wander around the centre of Ogre and then head off to the other Ogre on the other side of the river and just take a slow walk back. The music playing over there in a somewhat empty cafe. This would appear to be the centre. I can imagine in summer there's quite a few things go on here. There's a little stage there. I'm guessing that's sort of a Latvian version of a bandstand, as I would call it. I can imagine in summer months. Don't know how much longer the water features are going to carry on before it gets a bit too cold for that kind of thing. I imagine on a hot summer's day, and they do get hot summer's day here, that could be quite good fun for the kiddies to run around. But while it's not overly cold today, it's certainly not warm enough for that fountain dodging. Using rudimentary guesswork, that's all it is really. I'd say that's probably a library and museum. I'll just pop in actually and just have a little look. Quaint little place. Interesting little museum that. Seemed to be being observed as I walked around with my phone, so I'm not sure if I was supposed to take pictures or not, so I thought better of it. But yeah, it's worth a little visit. Most of it's in Latvian, not a little bit in English, but not too much, so you just have to feast your eyes. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's just a fancy water tower or something, but I'm going to wander up there now, see if I can see what it is. If I can get up there.
Walk east, turn right.
Don't know if that came out on the camera or not. Well, it's a nice little walk in the woods, if nothing else. Doesn't appear to be any kind of defined footpath up to this thing. I say thing because I still don't actually understand what it is. But there is a trodden down bit here, let's say, that people must walk up and down. It's got to be just a water tower, isn't it? Can't think what else it can be. Well, you can't go into it. It's fenced off once you get up here. Well, I've worked out what the outside is used for. That's for rock climbing. So I don't know if it's a dual purpose thing or not. It's just been built just purely for rock climbing. But now I'm here, what look like a load of fancy artwork stuck on the side of it. And of course there's the ropes or whatever. Ah, interesting. Maybe it is just purely for that purpose. Anyway, it's not open on a late October Wednesday. Yeah, it doesn't mention any other purpose other than climbing wall. Closed, obviously. And there is a price list there, and the very top one being €11, which I presume is for an adult. A bit of a random thing to find here, I have to say. But then again, there's probably not too many mountains in Latvia that you can climb up. Although I did see some quite interesting gorges. Where was that? I can't remember now. It'll come to me at some point. But yeah, I think people were maybe climbing up the side of the gorges, and found a ski run as well. Not sure if I can remember if it was artificial or a real one, but certainly had real snow on it. But whether it was an artificial hill with real snow on, I can't remember either. But yeah, interesting. Right, let's head through that park straight ahead. So here is the confluence of the Daugava River and Ogre. The Daugava, which is the river that runs through Riga. So let's head down that way now and go and find the confluence and the other side of the river. Can't even begin to tell you how much I enjoy just random wanders around places I've never been to before. Quite often you find absolutely nothing to discover, and other times you find all sorts of things that you think, well, thank you Google Maps or Go Jauntly or one of the other kind of discover apps that are about, or just you just come across them. I have to say here there's not an awful lot to come across, but it is a lovely place to wander around just for the sake of wandering around, especially this time of year with, as I say, with the fall in fall if that's the term. Not very windy today, so not many leaves blowing about, but they're all yellow, they're all mostly ready to come down, and quite a few already have. And yeah, Google Maps has just sent me down this little muddy road, and we're heading down towards the river and the point where it where the confluence is. I'm not sure what the term is, where they whatever it is. I sound an idiot saying that, but there you go. Well, it was a lovely day as well because it's not cold, it's not too cold. I've noticed a lot of the locals are really wrapped up, which it surprises me because it's essentially a country that is has 4 or 5 months of very cold weather, and it isn't that yet. I've been here in September and it's been a lot colder than this. I was also here at the end of February once,
Turn left.
March, and it was extremely cold then too, but at the moment it's just nice, lovely for walking around. That's going to be a nice place when it's finished as well, isn't it? It's just breeze blocks at the moment, but I'm sure once they've finished that off, that will look splendid. One thing you do find in mainland Europe, particularly the further east you go, signposting is not always particularly good. Whereas I'm very spoilt coming from Britain with okay, thank you. Lots of guard dogs here. I'm very spoiled with the public footpaths that we have back in Britain and the access across farmland and places like that. It's not to be given up lightly. Yeah, doesn't like my presence. So we're just coming down to the river now.
Turn right.
And it says turn right, but I'm going to turn left actually and wander down that way. Beauty of course, using a an app such as Google Maps or whichever you choose to use, is that it will of
Walk
course,
south. Turn right.
keep rerouting you the more you go wrong, and will ultimately get you to where you want to finish up. So here is this is the Ogre, and the confluence, I believe, is just down that way somewhere. I need to just double check that. That church as well, hiding amongst the trees. So if you want to read that, obviously pause, but nice to find a sign that's written in English as well. The origins of the Ogre town and resort date back to the second half of the 19th century, when the railway line Riga Daugava or Daugava was opened in 1861. The small settlement at the estuary of the river Ogre started its development into a place of recreation popular with wealthy Riga inhabitants. The surroundings of Ogre were described as a picturesque place surrounded by beautiful pine forests with a rapid river, numerous hills and mounds. Yep, I would say that that's not really changed too much since then, and on it goes to tell you about construction of the summer houses, and so on and so forth. Nice bridge over there, I'm going to walk to that. And the same there in Latvian, obviously. And a nice picture of a steam train. I think they've upgraded since then. Beautiful. Right, let's go this way. That way is Ogre, down that way is Pārogre, and you can suddenly hear a probably coming out on the camera. I don't know where the signs are for it, but there is a train coming, so better wait here. The cars have all seen something. I'm guessing it's that there. I didn't see that lit up when I walked up to it. One of the more old-fashioned trains, I think. Yeah, not one of the newer ones. They've got some character when you get on those. Very clunky and bumpy. So I'm going to carry on back to
Turn
the
right.
centre of Ogre and get a bite to eat, and then head back to Riga. A very nice place here, very, how would you put it, laid back, I think is probably the term I want to use. Now, I did see a weather forecast for this part of the world in a couple of days' time, showing a wind, big wind, strong winds and a storm. So I don't know if they're going to collect up these leaves that they've gathered by the side of the road and get rid of them. Otherwise they're just going to blow in the wind and be back where they were in the first place. We shall see. Wonder what that was actually, walking up to it. I thought it's a funny looking bridge. It's pipes, isn't it? Like water pipes or sewerage pipes or something. Oh well. Get your pipes across the river, might as well let people walk there as well. That's the railway bridge as featured in the photograph with the steam train. Particular hurry today. It's quite a frequent service between here and Riga. Not massively frequent, but not to the point where you've kind of, if you miss the train, you're stuck for 3 hours or anything like that. Wind's getting up now as well. Ooh. Some of those leaves will be starting to blow again. Of course, you don't have to come by train to get out to Ogre, or indeed anywhere else. There are buses as well, but the trains really are very good value here. One might even say cheap. I'm not really sure about the bus prices. The prices in Riga itself for a day pass, 3-day pass,
Continue following the road.
Individual journeys are certainly very reasonable. Slightly longer distance ones from bus stations such as this, I couldn't really tell you, but I imagine also pretty reasonable. Railway stations just up there, so it's got pretty good connectivity, has to be said. Just checking out the train times. The buses didn't seem particularly frequent, just looking at the signs, but perhaps everyone gets the train anyway. Seem to be, at this time of day at least, about 3 an hour into Riga, which is fairly good. So as I say, I'm just going to pop back into the town now, grab something to eat and then head back. A few places around here as well, so anyway, let's go to the correct side of the railway line for the direction I'm going, and see what's what. Right, so there we go, a nice little wander around this fine city of Ogre. It's quaint, it's laid back, chilled out and fairly quiet on a autumnal Wednesday as the wind gets up and the leaves that they've carefully put in piles start to blow back where they came from, but I suppose that keeps someone in a job. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please click on the like button, subscribe, yellow bell, all that kind of malarkey. You know the drill. I'm going to head back down the station, head back into Riga, because I can't really find anywhere here that's really that appealing to eat in on my own anyway. There's plenty of sort of cafes where you would go with somebody else, but anyway, off we go. Let's head back to Riga. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now. Cheers.